Hello! Hello. Let me just make sure my voice is coming through. Hello and welcome to Formula OC. It's round number 3 of the Vietnamese Grand Prix for Wednesday night. And we're here for a short qualifying session here tonight due to numbers being down. But hopefully next week it will be a bit better. And we will have more of a fuller grid. Now let me just look see here. Okay. So Vietnam, always an interesting track, to say the least. And we'll go through it all here in just a few moments, and we'll go on board here with the man on pole position. I'm sorry, who got on the podium, and and I've just been told it's a wet race. Oh dear. Or they're just fucking with me. I believe it's a wet race. Wonder if it is or not. Yep, it's a wet race. Oh boy. I've just calmed them all with a wet race. So he's the man who got onto the podium in Bahrain. Kruder. We got Sparky here as well. Got Splash. Here to Punisher Micah. We got Little T as well. So we'll go on board here with Splash. And turns out we could have had a full qualifying, which is fantastic. So we'll go on board here with Kruder. And we'll see what happens here with Kruder on this lap. As he comes around, we'll go on board for a little bit of a lap here around the Vietnamese Grand Prix and see how it all plays out. It's all a bit of a wiggle. Has a bit of a moment there. As I'm just going to type in the stream on to for everybody in the Discords. There we go. So, Vietnam, what a track. It's a track that not many people like, which I don't blame them. I don't really like this track. It's a pain of a track. It's a tough circuit with unforgiving walls and fences, bedlam and craziness, because anything can happen with this track. The thing about this track is it's not easy, as you can see. A bit of damage there on board with. And why have I not got fit tyres? There we go. Bit of damage there on board the Renault. As we come around the last corner, let's see if the Renault, what lap time it's going to be. And for Kruder, it's on 35.7 with more wing damage. You're looking at a possible a good lap time around here is at 34, 33. As Micah is invalidated his lap time. Black Hammer now finishing his lap. And he's actually starting his lap. Excuse me. So Racing Point about to come around. Yep. It is Muckpin. Comes around the last corner now. Let's see what Muckpin can do. Muckpin crosses the line and it's a 36.7. So 0.9 off the pace. Raptor, Little T, goes to P2. And there's a Haas off there at the corner. What does Reptile do here at the moment? Comes around the last corner now, and it will be only a 36.8. 36.8. Strategy around here, you can do softer hards, maybe softer mediums, if you feel a little bit, feel a little bit sexy. As Jerry Beans Jr. now is out there on a lap as well. Fries, he's out there on a lap. Let's watch the end of Fry's lap here. Fry will come around the last corner now, and it will be a 38.4. Black Hammer completing his lap. Let's watch the end of Black Hammer's lap here at the moment. Sorry, I'm just messing in the chat right now. We'll start on board here with Black Hammer round the last corner, and it's going to be P8. So Black Hammer 3.6 seconds off the pace. Sydney Swan's out there as well, and Paddy Crow's just joined. So we're going to have a 17-car grid here. Bunch of reserves in tonight as well, so we'll keep an eye out. Mamula out there at the moment, as well as Broken Reptile goes top with 35.4. He better hope that he improves on that time, or he will be... Well, it's a wet race anyway, so who cares? Elon goes P5, and we'll watch the Red Bull here and see what the Red Bull can do. So Jerry Beans actually has P6. So apologies for anyone that's watching. I'm just currently on the Discord as well. So, but yeah, wet race, Vietnam. Boy, it's going to be chaos here. And we'll start on board here with Stroke Race. See how Stroke Race goes on his lap. We'll go on board, watch an on-board lap with Stroke Race here. We'll turn all these off. And here's a bit of a lap while I message the Discord, and it's not great turn in there in the U-turn section. I'm also trying to... Ooh, a bit slow there from Stroke Race. Not the best through turn 11 and 12, but with it being a wet race, it doesn't really matter what time you do early on. You just got to go out there, see you got plenty of opportunities on softs, get out there and do a lap. Here's Sparky now. Sparky, who was doing multiple lap after lap after laps in Bahrain. Edge out there on the mediums. Interesting strategy. Elon's doing back-to-back laps. He improved to P4, which you can do. You may as well do. And Sydney Swan's now complete lap time. Stroke Race 9.6 seconds off the pace. Watch Sparky. Let's see what Sparky can do. I'm also trying to get the points up here at the moment, so I can write them down so I can tell you all during this. I'll be telling you that at the start of the race. And I will also open the chat so I can see who is watching and who's not. Who wouldn't be watching tonight? It's wet race around this place is going to be absolutely bedlam. It's going to be absolutely insanity. As we watch the end of Sparky's lap here, does he improve? Yes, he does. 3.1 seconds off the pace. So Sydney Swan about to complete his lap here. My teammate on the Sundays Did a great result in the Sunday League, but this is not about Sunday, this is about tonight here. And tonight you're looking for every opportunity you can. He's actually not on a lap, he's actually lifted off. Who else is on a lap at the moment? Edge on the mediums, but I don't know why he's on the mediums, to be honest. Kruder out there as well. Kruder did a very good job in Bahrain. And we've got Splash here as well, Mamula. Let's see what Mamula can do. 7 minutes to go in this session. We did have a full... Could have been a full qualifying, but some people decided to join late. But we are here and ready to go for this one. City Swan goes on for another lap. As we try to go seek here. We'll watch the end of the edge start about 4 seconds off the pace, so what's the point? Kruder starts his lap. So we'll actually go on board here with Micah. Or Mika. Mika. I keep saying Micah, I don't know why. Sorry Micah if you watch... Mika, if you watch this. God, I'm silly. Let's see where this Ferrari, if this Ferrari can improve here. As I'm still trying to get the points up and everything here at the moment. So, what does this Ferrari can do, as I've got all the points completed, so I can open the chat and talk to you more about Vietnam. I do apologise, I've not come prepared here tonight. Do apologise for that, Fiat. Number 41, Ferrari. Not a great lap it's looking like at the moment. Crumbs around the last corner, and it's going to be... Actually, it's not a bad lap. It's P7. 1.6 seconds off the pace. Mamula now. One who's definitely got some pace, but it's not looking good at the moment. 30 doesn't improve. Kruder goes to the top with 35.0. So Kruder looking good here in the Renault. Doing a real good job. Little T coming to the end of his lap. Let's see what Little T can do. Let me just turn all this off. There we go. So, what does Little T do here? Oh my goodness me! That is ugly. What was Splash doing? Oh, that's an ugly one. Ooh, well, there will be some words in the chat, I think, to say the least, because that was just disgusting. For Splash there. Oh dear. As we watch Jerry Beans here, Jerry Beans is 1/10 up, so we'll see what Jerry Beans can do for the rest of his lap. And Jerry Beans now comes around the last few corners. Let's see where Jerry Beans can, if Jerry Beans can improve here in the Red Bull. So for tonight. Comes around, hits the wall. It would have been a good lap. He does improve, but it would have been an improvement. Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, that would have been improvement for Jerry Beans. Reptile's out there on a lap as well. Abyss is started his lap now. He's the only one who's not completed a lap. Frizy's about to finish his, as I just changed something. Rising around the last corner now, and it's P3, 35.6 for him. Reptile about to finish his lap here. Actually, no, there's an AlphaTauri. Actually, no, the AlphaTauri is actually starting his lap. So I do have the chat open. Hello to you all. Here's Reptile. About to 8/10 up. This is going to be a hotly contested lap here. Because Reptile a bit down the field in the championship here at the moment. Didn't compete in Australia, didn't have a great Bahrain. We're looking for a good result here tonight at the Vietnamese circuit. Round the last corner now, he will cross the line. It's going to be a 33. No, it's a 34-1. It was close to a 33 though, but did a very good job in the end. Elon. Let's see what Elon ED can do. Check and see what his middle sector time is here. Where is Abyss actually? Abyss is coming around to come P3. So he goes P3, does Abyss. Here's Elon ED now. And Elon now will look good here at the moment. 8 temps up, but it's not where he wants it to be. He would want it to be way better up. Abyss retires since he doesn't have enough time for another lap. Round the last few corners now through turn 21, turn 22, and now coming up to turn 23. Does Elon improve? He can go for another lap. He will have time. It's a 35-0, but still not on the 34s, which Reptile is in. Sydney Swong is about to restart his lap. Fries is retired from the session. Edge is out there on a lap time now. Stroke race comes around the last corner. 2 minutes, but he's done his lap off now. Edge now. See how his first sector is 4 temps up in the first sector. So everyone now starting to get their lap times in. And Little T also as well. After whatever happened there between him and Splash, which was very ugly to say the least. All Reptiles lifted off. No, he's done. Reptile's done for the night. Another one who could maybe press Momulo. Where's Momulo? No, he's on he's on an outlap. So he's not going to finish yet. Muckpit's not going to finish, so we'll start with a Little T. What does Little T do here at the moment? Little T 7 temps up, so this could move him up into the top 2 positions. Reptile in P1 right now. Don't forget, it's a wet race, so these times could be really irrelevant. Because I don't know how many people have done wet practice here at this track. Could be many safety cars coming along the way in this one. Little T about to come around the last corner now. And it's P2 into the 34s, so he's not the only one who's gone in the 34s here. Cruder's on he's left it too late. No, he's starting his lap time up now. Let's go with spectator mode, seriously. Then he Swan retires. Oh, and Mamula's done, he's done. Here comes Mika. Across the line, it's P9. Very good job by Mika. Here's Little T. He's done. And Cruder's down the lap by 5 temps down. Edge now 12 seconds behind his lap. So here comes Micah, who've crossed the line. So there's a few people that are very confused at the moment. Timer might be a bit different for me here, so just bear with me. But to say it all, it will be Reptile on pole position in the Vietnam Grand Prix by 8 temps. Incredible pole position lap he did. And Mamula only 13th. So we're just waiting on Little T and Edge to retire. We'll get this race underway. Wet conditions around the Vietnamese Grand Prix. Edge retires, so we're just waiting on Little T here to retire from the session. And we should be all good to go. Or to cross the line, we should say. Hopefully the game doesn't glitch. Thank God. So there we go. It's Reptile on pole with Little T second. Little T yet to finish in the points on Wednesday nights yet. But, well, what Little T's actually got a 5-place grid penalty. No way. Did he get a grid penalty for hitting... That's... Wow. Okay. Yep. That's a bit... Well, little T, that's a bit rough, that 5-place grid penalty. I don't know why the game's giving you that. But yeah, there's the results. And so it's going to be actually Reptile versus Elon on the front row. Not Reptile and little T. So... Yeah. In these wet conditions, a lot of these drivers possibly haven't done many laps in the wet here at Vietnam. So it will be very spicy indeed to watch. It's dry. So it must be wet later in the race. Or they're screwing with me. So Little T's just confirmed he's got a dry setup on, so I believe he's saying that it is... I am correct, it's going to rain later in the race, so there you go. So, but look at those clouds, boy. That's a sign that that rain's possibly coming soon. But look at these guys here back in 10th downwards. All in the mediums and hards, so all mediums. Are they hoping for maybe the rain to not come as quickly and hope that the soft runners struggle? Who knows? But it's a bit tough for me to tell because I don't have a weather guide on me right now. I don't know what the weather's doing, so that's the problem for me. So there we go. So let's have a look at the tyres, of course. And yeah, some people too have started on the hards. So it's an interesting one here. Again, I don't know when these drivers are being told when the rain's coming. I have not been told. I don't know that answer. I don't know when it's arriving, so that's the issue here for me, is I'm playing a long game here trying to figure out when this rain will be coming. But yeah, hard tyres on for Sparky, Jerry Beans with the mediums, Means for Black Hammer, Splash on the hards, Stroke Race and City Swan on the mediums, and soft tyres for Mamula, which could be a sign of when the rain comes. But look at those clouds. There is no rain on the cars as of yet, so it's not as bad here at the moment. And Reptile now getting himself ready. He'll want to get the best start over Elon. He clearly has the better pace here tonight at this track. But I've said it before that this track, sometimes it's not really a close qualifying because there's a lot of drivers who don't like this track, struggle with this track, but then there's some drivers who know how to handle the track best and know how to get a good lap in. So it's going to be Reptile from Elon, from Kruder, from Abyss, from Edge, the two alphas, 4th and 5th. Championship right now. Fog is, who's on here tonight, 43 points in the lead. Jamie 25, Oxygen V 16. The next best who is racing tonight is Kruder 15 points, Godly 12, Elon 10, Edge 10, Muckpin 8, Reptile 7, Black Hammer 6, Green Goats 4, Abyss 4 and Sparky 4. Constructors, Merc lead by 3 over Red Bull. AlphaTauri then is in 3rd. Haas, McLaren, Alfa Romeo, Ferrari, Racing Point, and Renault Williams yet to score a point in this championship. So the Vietnamese Grand Prix about to get underway. God, I hope so. Yes, the lights will go out now. And we're racing around Vietnam? Vietnam? What? 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 While we're racing around Vietnam, what just happened? There's Kruder now. Oh, it's a big crash. Oh, the racing point's around. That's going to cause chaos in the mid-pack. Oh my goodness me, that is the weirdest start I've ever had in my commentary career, as virtual safety car is now out. That is the weirdest thing that has ever happened to me in the history of F1 gaming. Oh my goodness me. So Elon leads, it's like 3 wide. Spectator mode of this game. Maybe the host is... gets such a delay, maybe? I don't know. It's so confusing. I'll have to realise that next week. But virtual safety car most likely for debris. We saw the racing point around. Look back on your replays on stream to figure out what happened there, because we'll definitely be able to see that. Pricing getting close to Edge here, Edge getting close to Kruder, but Reptile looking to take the lead back already. Side by side. Oh, that was a bit naughty, but it's okay. Kruder now and Edge. Edge goes for it on Kruder and goes up to P3. I mean, Reptile didn't push him into the wall, but he did give him a love tap out of the corner saying, how you going? Which I'm prone to do, so yeah. Frizy, what has happened to Frizy? Something's happened to Frizy. There's more drama at the back. There's more drama at the back. It's Black Hammer. A few others may have been involved. The issue here is Muckpin, of course, is on a damaged wing. And with tight corners like this around this track, it can be very difficult. 5-second penalty for Abyss. So a lot of drivers get damage, most likely from that first lap incident. Here at this track. So Reptile leads at the moment. Edge now looking to make the move here on Elon to go up into second place. Can he get that move done or not? He's got to worry about the Renault and the McLaren. Edge looking, you can't. Oh, around the outside, this corner is very difficult. Little Tito's looking for the move here on Kruder. Edge has got it done around the outside, basically, of Elon, and gets it done. A beautiful move. And now he'll see if he can hunt down Reptile up ahead, who's about 3 seconds up the road here in this one. Kruder now loses the position. That's not what he would want in championship-wise here at the moment. So Jerry Beans now, Mamula. So drivers that pitted, only 3 actually. So all these drivers very lucky that it wasn't worse. Worser incident, to say the least. He's Kruder now, close it in here on Little T here for P4. But Little T also close it in here on Elon. And Little T, of course, started 5 positions back after a very interesting qualifying penalty. I feel like Reptile's gone. 3.7 seconds. He could obviously have a cup of tea, as Edge has got damage. Edge has got damage. That's the only reason why he would pit. Just want to see if this is changed for wing. It is. So he's possibly done in the last sector, I'd say. Here's Kruder, Little T and Elon. This could be a big three-way fight for the win. Reptile could just have a cup of tea now and go to bed, because he'll be fine. He's got a big enough margin. He doesn't have to worry about the 3 behind him, because it looks like these 3 are going to battle really hard here towards the end of this race. Jerry Beans down on Sydney Swan. Looks for the move. Oh dear. And he's reset to track. I don't think you're allowed to do that, son. Yeah, I don't think you're allowed to do that. Splash! Oh no, that's a bit ugly. Was there contact there? I didn't see them full of it. Could have been a little bit of contact. As now, look at this battle here now. This is basically a battle for 2nd and 3rd, 4th in this race. It could also be about a fight until the rain. Put this down. These 3 now going at it. Is that stroke race? It is. And it might have been a Haas as well. Tough to say what was going on there between those guys. As now we'll move up here, Critter closing back into on Elon, but it's just not closing in enough. And now Little T's getting away. So Little T's now got the margin, 1.4, and does the fast lap of the race. So this Reptile have to, he did move on the wheel there. So is he now gone back up to the ridge to try to get this margin back out? Of course, doesn't want to worry about penalties. And all depends on when this rain, which is raining now. So it is raining now. And the story now is how wet is it going to get before you need intermediate conditions, intermediate tyres. There's now Kruder now trying his absolute hardest to get to Elon here for P3. If he possibly can. Side by side, these two will go. No, he's not enough. He'll wait for that DRS. Looks, this move could be important before the rain really hits. Goes really out wide to get this move done. And Elon knew he was going for it. Lets him through for the move. As Kruder now goes up into P3. 2.6 seconds now between Little T and Kruder, so that margin's grown, and it looks like Little T and Reptile are pretty much on similar pace here at the moment. But what will happen when the heavens open, which they have, but what will happen when they really open up? So a lot of gaps forming throughout the field here at the moment. A lot of drivers have come into the lane at some point. Could still be a safety car at any point in this race. Of course, we did see one in Australia when it was wet conditions, and we could see it here tonight. Can Elon stay with Kruder as much as he can? As I just... Oh, no, okay. Just making sure my voice is coming through. Elon now still just not enough to get this move done. 3.8 seconds between Reptile and Little T now, so Little T closing in. Is that muck pin or is that stroke race? It's stroke race. And he'll have to come into the lane. As South Frizzy's for his teammate for tonight, that means Sydney Swan. So Sydney Swan now P5. And Fry's got that annoying glitch that has never been fixed in spectator mode for quite some time. Stroke race has damage, but it's not pitted. But I think Stroke race is trying to go till when the rain really arrives. And I think one of the Haas's, it might have been Black Hammer. No, it was actually Sparky's who hit the wall at the final corner, but the guy gave him damage on the left. Makes sense, doesn't it? Frizzy staying with Sydney Swan here at the moment. Boy, and they say some of these guys are hoping that this rain picks up here because softs are not going to last on. Sydney Swan could be in a very good position here at the moment, but there's still a long way to go. Reptile will go as long as he can. I mean, that's what you've got to do. These top four got to stay out as long as they can, because if they pit for another set of dry tyres, it's just not going to really work out. It's just going to be a waste of time. 3.8 seconds between these two at the moment, and 3.7 between Kruder and Little T, and 1.3 between Kruder and Elon. So Kruder's getting that margin away. As the two Haas's go out of here very slowly. It's Sparky through, but Sparky, of course, does have damage with his car at the moment. So Elon's actually caught up a little bit again. The gaps are formed, but I have a feeling those gaps will maybe come back, as that's probably Sparky again, yeah. See, that's the issue when it's raining and you don't really want to pick because you don't want to lose time. But sometimes you have to, because honestly, you're losing time just being out there on damaged wing. You just are. Stroke race gets a 5-second speeding penalty for his troubles. So Reptile's got 3.9 seconds. The track is not wet enough at the moment. It's just not. It's just not. 3.7 now between him and Little T. So Little T's keeping up with him, but the margin's so big at the moment, it's not helping him. As Sparky's out there on the inters. So Sparky's must have Michael Schumacher as his engineer. It's Malaysia 2009 all over again, but this time it's actually raining. For those F1 loyalists out there that remember that one, but it's just not dry enough, wet enough for inters. It's just not. That could screw over the top 4 here at the moment, unless a safety car arrives. Stroker race has hit the wall, I think. Oh, it's Sparky struggling in these inters. So it's going to be a long few laps. Many laps here for him with these tyres. So it's going to be a problem here at the moment. And another thing is for Little T, because he's got a dry setup on, he could struggle in these wet conditions. So we'll have to wait and see how he goes in this race. Oh, bit of a moment for Mamula. Has a big moment. And these wet conditions, track starts to get a little bit wetter. Will start to get more chaotic. More prone to safety cars. The weather is picking up. You can tell here on board with Frizy, the rain is picking up. But it's going to be a thing of how your tyres. Do you think you can make it? Some may have no choice. They'll be screaming at Jeff about the weather conditions, but Jeff really can't tell you anything. He'll tell you it's raining, but he can't tell you when it's going to get wet enough. Stroko's just struggling here at the moment. Sparky just going around, hopefully to do his best. Can Sydney Swan's in? Is this a change to inters? Oh, now is this a change to inters for Sparky? Is he the first of the guys up the front to blink? He is! Wow! Let me have a look here at Reptile's times and have a look-see here. See, they're not... Well, they're starting to come down though, but that could be tyre wear related. As first sector, that might still be the racing point, yeah. Might still be the racing point, as a matter of fact. Marky saying, broken Reptile dominating. Yes, he is, Marky. But it's only 4.3 seconds. Little T has kept with Reptile. So it's not an overly dominant race at the moment. Little T's staying with him. But the problem for Little T could be is when it gets wet and he is on a dry setup. So it could become a problem. Is Sydney Swan gaining time? He's not. He's just not. Because look, it's still dry. But I'd say it's a couple laps to go. And I feel like it will be into his time. Well, he's gained some time, but he is on a straight, to be fair. And a safety car came out now. I tell you what, you'd have almost half the grid in on inters because it could get wet enough for it to be as the time of the safety car. Splash goes a little bit wide and Edge goes through, says thank you very much, and Edge goes up to P7. It's another incident. I think it's Abyss around, and that might be damage on board with Abyss. Abyss been doing very well on Sunday afternoons, but here on Wednesday nights it's just not been working out for him at all. At all. Just hasn't had the car tuned up right or something, and it's just not working out for him. So yeah, it's still not inters yet, because 8.1 between Sydney Swan and Punisher, and Micah is all over him. So those soft runners right now are sweating it out, and side by side Punisher goes through on Sydney Swan. Big mistake from Sydney Swan. Yeah, he holds on to it. The big thing about all this when you pin on inters is when the game says it's DRS enabled. That's the big story. That's when you know it's time. And Sparky around on the intermediates as well. That's when you know it's time. Stroke race is in for another week change. Some of those tyres. Boy, those tyres, they're not looking great. A lock up for Little T, that's not what he would want. And look at Reptile calmly through the corners, making sure not to waste those softs. Still T's got to do the same thing. And all honestly, it's now Mamula's got from Frizy. Has Frizy made a mistake because he's lost a bit of gap? Interesting one. These top four, one of these top four pitting for Sauce is not going to really make a difference. You're not going to gain time in these conditions. And especially if it gets wet enough in the next 3 laps. But if you don't think it's going to get wet enough for the next 5 laps, and you're not going to make any tyres, you may as well pit for another set of softs. You may as well. But it depends what the game wants to, and Mamula's in. What does Mamula do? Tough thing for Mamula right now is you don't really want to come in on... Yeah, so he's done the smart... Well, he's got a wing change anyway. He's done the smart thing putting another set of sauce on, because putting this on right now is not going to really do anything for you. Just put the sauce on, try to get as much margin as you can. See how it goes. Splashes around. And that's a big spin for Splash. And yeah, that's a big spin for him. Black Hammer now, and Muckpin's in. Jerry Beans is in. He's got the inters on. Rain's picking up, but I don't think it's just wet enough at the moment. It's not. Spucky's retired in the pit lane. And Muckpin inters on. So a lot of these guys hoping that this weather picks up here. Is Sydney Song gaining? Little T's in, and Sydney Swong, and I think it's slowly starting to gain advantage. Who's that around? Frizy's around. Oh dear, that's a shame for Fry. You get very annoyed when things like that happen, folks. Yeah, Little T's in on the softs. Kruder will come in. What's he going to do? He's enters! Oh, and Frizy's off at, I believe that's the end of turn 13. So Little T's come in. Kruder obviously been duped by that and thinks he was coming in on enters, but as a matter of fact, he wasn't. He was coming in for another set of softs. And now does that put the pressure on Broken Reptile here, because Little T's on fresher softs here. But is Reptile confident to go long enough here on these softs till it gets wet enough? It's not exactly wet enough here at the moment. That's just my opinion. But these drivers are starting to come in on inters. Kruder's actually gaining here in Little T. No, he's actually not. I feel like we're at the crossover point at the moment. We're at the point where dry tyres are just that little bit quicker. That's my feeling right now. I feel like that they're just a little bit quicker. So what does Reptile do? Reptile's going to lose the lead here, I believe. Yeah, it's 18 seconds. Little T's gaining on Elon so much because he's on fresher sauce here. Reptile's in. Oh, this is going to cost Little T. He's got to be patient. Got to be patient with Elon here. This is helping Reptile so much. Oh, you don't. You got to be patient, Little T. Oh, that's cost Little T. And Reptile's in on inters. That might be a very smart choice, as a matter of fact. But to me, it looks, to me, those, well, DRS is disabled. So it's his time. Yeah, it's getting into his time now. Reptile's still going to get in the lead. So that little moment for Little T behind Elon's cost him. DRS is disabled. And that little moment for little T has cost him. And pinning on Sauce has cost him. It still looks like he's slightly quicker to me. Oh no, or maybe not through that corner. Every single driver out there at the moment is on inters. Every single one. And 2.2, I think, little T, it has gone for you, mate. The advantage is gone. And that's stroke. It's Mark Pettis at a safety car. This could help little T so much. It's not. And little T was hoping that was the safety car, but it's not for him. And yeah, he will have to come in on into here because 2.6 seconds. Lights out for him. And he made a big mistake. And Reptile doing a GOAT decision on pinning on those inters. He knew it was time. He waited for so long and helped him out. And little T, the thing about little T though is he will still come in 4th. So it's not going to be a bad loss anyway. But if he wanted to get an advantage on the Sauce, he should have pinned maybe a couple laps earlier. About 4 or 5 laps earlier. Maybe could have got a bit of advantage, but probably not a lot. So little T in, and every driver now there on inters. You can tell it's intermediate conditions now, folks, because of the spray on circuit. So Jerry Beans and Splash now close to each other here for P9 and P10 in the points. And where does little T come out? Is he going to come out ahead of... Oh, he'll come out ahead of Jeezy. So it's 11.2 between Reptile and Cruder. Engelong in 3rd. And not much else happening here in this Grand Prix. And Jerry Beans now P10 compared to P9. So only battle on circuit here at the moment. But it could be fighting up here between Elon and Little T because 0.9 between Little T and Elon here at the moment. So Little T now see if he can get some positions back, if he can gain on the AlphaTauri and maybe even the Renault, because I feel like the get to Reptile, who's basically 20 seconds ahead of him, there's just no hope unless a safety car, which could always be possible in these conditions. We'll stick with this battle here for 3rd. Actually, no, we'll go and see Splash and Mamula close to each other here for P8. So we've got a battle here for P8 here at the moment. Oh, there's a bit of contact. Let's see what happens here between these 3. Sector 2, it's Abyss. Or is it Edge? Is it Edge? No, it's Abyss. It's Abyss. Around. Oh, Jerry Beans has a bit of a moment. And here comes Splash. Meanwhile, for 3rd, Little T's all over the back of Elon, but let's see what Splash can do here on the Muller here for P8 in this Grand Prix. Does he look for it? No, he's just not close enough. And now let's see around the last corner for Little T. We're halfway through this Grand Prix now. Battle for 3rd here on track. What happens here? Edge is in. He must have damage. So this Sydney Swan goes up into the top 5. So his early pit stop on Inters pretty much works out anyway because he's back in P5. So he's pretty much safe. Look at this battle here. Mamula's lost the position to both Splash and Jerry Beans. Oh, that's a bit ugly. Hits the back of the Red Bull, and that's cost him time. Mamula won't be happy with that one. As our Little T getting along to the wing along here. Side by side, these two will go. Not quite. Got to use that ERS, Little T. Use that ERS. He's not using it. That's cost him because Elon was using his. Does he go? Oh my god, that's huge! Oh no. Oh no, that was ugly. That was... I thought that was going to be a monumental accident. And there's slight damage there for he's just gone too deep. And luckily for Elon, don't think he got damage from that, so Elon now is safe. But Little T looks like he went a bit too deep and hit the back of Elon. He saved it enough to make it not as worse of an incident. So, what does Little T, does he come in? Yes, he does. So he'll be just outside the top 5 with City Swan and Elon, pretty much. Says thank you for the podium. And he's P3 right now. So the gaps between the top 3 are ginormous. And there's not much else really happening here in this Vietnamese Grand Prix. And where is Reptile on circuit? Well, Gold Ball with Reptile next lap. Actually, Gold Ball with City Swan here for a lap around the Vietnamese Grand Prix and show you around this circuit with not much happening here at the moment. Turn 1, always a corner that you've got to get right. And if you can hit that curb the right way, you can do it beautifully. But in wet conditions, it's diabolical. Especially these corners right here. 2, 3, 4. It's such a tough, twisty part of the circuit. And then now you make the run up into turn 6 and 7. The roundabout about to come up. The roundabout not very easy to do. It's a tough part of the circuit. And if you can get it right, I mean, you swim and enjoy, but it's always chaos. Through 7, 8, 9. And Sydney Swan looking okay here at the moment. Now let's see what he does here. To turn 10. And he's... I don't know why I say let's see what he does here. I might thought this is a qualified lap. I don't know why. 11 and 12. We're seeing it's definitely a passing opportunity, but it's also a corner, 2 sets of corners that can deliver absolute chaos. And same with coming up this last sector, turn 13. In these conditions, it's diabolically hell, because you can easily hit the wall right there, and there, and there, and there. Right there. You can hit the wall in many of those corners. And now we come through the last few corners now. Turn 21 up to turn 22. If you get close enough to the next car, you can get a run here into turn 23. And that's a lap around the Hanoi circuit here at this one, as Little T's now actually behind him in P5. So these two will have a bit of a battle here, but of course Little T has a penalty. So lap 16 of 28, Micah, I keep saying Micah, but it's Mika, closing in here on Frizy for P9 in this Grand Prix. And these conditions, not easy for the drivers here at the moment at all. As Little T now closing in also on Sydney Swan. So 13.8 seconds between Reptile and Kruder. Elon P3, Sydney Swan P4, Little T P5. And Edge, even though we're changing that wing, has gone up to P6. And Micah is closing in here on Frizy and the Williams. Just outside the points, but just inside the points, it's P9, P10. So these two now will be trying to move, Micah especially, trying to see what he can do. Mika, oh my god, I keep getting it wrong. So 17 of 28. And Little T now closing in here on Sydney Swan. I keep focusing on Little T a lot, but there's not much happening, so not much else I could really do here. Splash in his debut doing very nice at P7 and Drew Beans in P8. So those two 7 and 8 here at the moment. P10 is Mika. Oh, Sydney Swan's in. Is this damage? Has Sydney Swan hit the wall? We're about to find out once he gets a wing change here. No. Tyres cooked up a bit. Does he not think he can make it on those inters? Maybe he's decided to pit. So it's going to be him versus Edge, but he should get ahead of Edge, surely, yes? Yeah, he will. He'll get ahead of Edge, just. And Jerry Beans Jr. is in as well. So it's just wearing out a bit, maybe, in this track. Who knows? That could very well be wearing out here quite considerably. As it's 14.7 between Reptile and Critter here at the moment. Look at those margins, first, second, third, fourth. Fuck me. But in intermediate conditions, you do expect that the gaps can form. As is that... Oh, that's Abyss. I just call safety car Abyss. Make this race exciting. As Mika, fuck me. Mika is closing in here on Frizy. I'm gonna get yelled at in the chat when people hear this. Closing right up here on Frizy for P8 in this Grand Prix. So they're now 8th and 9th and they'll 9th and 10th. So let's see what they can Mika get close here to Frizy. I don't think he really can. Gets closer than he makes a mistake. Does Mick. So it's an interesting one, isn't it? It just seems to me it gets very close to this last sector and just struggles a bit. We'll stay on board with this. See, we'll stay on board here with a Ferrari. So we're coming up 10 laps to go here in this Grand Prix. Where is Reptile on circuit? Reptile is not far from lapping these guys. He's about the lap. Reptile's basically closing, lapping basically most of the top 10 people from 10th. And he probably lapped these two at one point. 0.6 now, so my car closing in here on Frizy. Let's see what they can do. Yeah, it's basically out of that corner. He's struggled a lot, like through 2, 3, 4, and then through the roundabout here a little bit, but he's caught back up slightly as wets now for Mumula and Abyss. So it is picking up out there, but I don't think it's enough for wets at the moment. See, in this game, it has to be diabolical wet conditions for you to be on the wets, because you can pretty much keep being faster on inters on like a wet tyre type track. It needs to be bucketing down really for it to be, you have to be on wets in this game. Because in old games, conditions like these used to be wets, really. So keep an eye out here if the wets are quicker. Black Hammer's actually let through Mamula and Abyss. These two, oh, Mamula's in the wall. Oh my goodness me, that was close. Maybe it's not time for wets. It's the best look for the move here on Mamula. Mick has made a mistake, I think. He's 4 seconds behind Frizy. Side by side, these two go. Fry's actually in. These two go side by side. Abyss. Whew. Gets it done, but only just. Fryzy's in, and he's gone the wets. No, it's wing change. So he must have hit the wall, and now he's decided, I'll go the wets. It must be wets time, because the race leader's in. Our race leader is in. And yeah, my point has been proven that it's getting the wet conditions now. Definitely wet conditions out there at the moment, and yeah, wets on for Reptile. Wets will go on for Cruder. And it's bucketing down here at the Vietnamese Grand Prix. And yeah, look at that, look at that. So Frizy's way catching up to Jerry Beans here at the moment. So, yeah, it's wet tyres time for these boys. Little T is in, stops it beautifully, and Reptile now comes on circuit with clear track ahead of him. Basically hoping for no safety car, because that will cause chaos. Pricey will look for the move here on Jerry Beans, so it shows you the wets are the tyre to be on right now. Side by side these two will go, and gets it done. What does Jerry Beans? He shouldn't go for it because he is on solid time, but it doesn't matter anyway because Frizy only gets a hold up actually. Frizy did a very good job. City Swan stayed out on Inters. Oh dear. Gets him into 5th, but I think City Swan, you've made the wrong choice and you should have pitted. Oh yeah, he's struggling. It's definitely Wet's time here in the Grand Prix. 13.6, so Reptile's lost a couple of attempts, but that doesn't really matter. It's 13 seconds. And Little T now, 0.8 behind Elon, so the battle for 3rd is still on, but remember Little T does have a 3-second time penalty. So, as Micah, oh, him and Edge, this contact. Oh, that's ugly. Bit of biff and barge between these two here at the moment, and Edge won like that. Did Edge get damage from that? I don't think so. Maybe, I think he got lucky. He did not get damage from it at all. But that was a bit rough and tumble, a little bit ugly there. 0.7 between Little T and Elon here at the moment. So that's the battle that we're going to be definitely watching out for and see what happens between all those guys. City Swan surely will be coming in this lap. So he's not losing much of a margin. And Little T's left the session. Oh no. That's a shame. I will try to invite him back. I don't need to invite him back anyway because it's now Edge and Mika through the P7, and Xbox signed out, he says, so I've sent him an invite anyway, so hopefully he'll get back into the lobby. And City Swan now in on the wets, surely, and we should see Mika into the lane. We do. So there we go. Black Hammer and Stroke Race out in. And Little T hoping he can get in time. If you can, hopefully you can get in, Little T. But still 18-second margin over City Swan at the moment, so wouldn't be sweating out at the moment. So Mika, for God's sake, 6, 4, 3, 2, about 2 seconds behind Frizy, so that fight could still be on here at the moment. And 15 seconds out between as Little T rejoins. 15 seconds between Broken Reptile, Karuda, Elong. And Little T will rejoin probably about 6 seconds behind. 7 seconds behind Elon, so we'll see, excuse me, if he can improve. Lap 22 or 28 of this Grand Prix. Let's go through the field now. And it's Broken Reptile who leads by 15.6 seconds. Be sure to stay tuned, podium interviews after the race. Lot to talk about, I'm sure. Not really, but it will just be how these boys went in these wet conditions. Then it's Kruder in second, has a little moment but holds on to it. Looks like a racing point has gone around. That calls a safety car, my god. Englong in third, Little T is back in. Then it's City Swan, Edge, Splash in 7th, Freising in 8th, Mika, oh my god, in 9th, Jerry Beans 10th, Abyss 11th, Mamula 12th, Black Hammer 13th, and Stroke Race in P14. So there you go. There's the order at the moment. 3.8 between Little T and Elon. He'll be hoping to try to close in on Elon for that podium, which has been a very close fight between those guys at the moment, but it just hasn't been enough. As we're closing in here, the laps here, the Grand Prix. Still T says Comas can suck my balls. Well, I say that almost every week. Hopefully, I mean, of course, EA coming up. Now big associated with Co-Masters and F1, but it's not really going to be a big thing anyway. EA's not going to have much say in it. EA's pretty much going to be helping with the marketing of the game a whole lot more. It'll get more out to more people. They may be able to make the esports thing a bit more bigger, but I don't really care about the esports thing. I haven't watched it since the very first one, because I only care about just normal league racing, just people like in this lobby here tonight who just love to have some fun, you know, don't take it as seriously. I mean, yeah, we do take it serious. A lot of us take it serious. We want to have a good race. We don't want to be taken out. We want to be competitive. But at the end of the day, we're here to have fun, and you know, we're not like some people who take it so seriously trying to be an esports driver. You know, it's very tough for people in our region to get into esports. It's very tough. You know, there's guys in our region who are very quick who could probably get into an esports, but it's a tough thing for them. You know, I believe we've had an Aussie in before. I believe we have. Wasn't last one, I believe it was last before. As Elon, that'd be a bit of a distraction for him up ahead. Same with Little T. I'm pretty sure we've had one in before, but it is a bit of a difficult thing because mostly all the Europeans that make sure they get into it. I don't think there's many Americans in it either. You know, so that's why I enjoy this stuff more than watching the esports. That's just me. I mean, I'll watch esports stuff for other games, but like F1, I feel like it's just, yeah, I don't know. I feel like if it was a full season, like if it was a 50% race at all, and Little T going for it here on Elon. I'll talk about my conversation a little bit later on here, because side by side, this is going to get ugly, and they've managed to go side by side, respectable stuff for Elon there, very respectable with Little T, because that could have ended badly through there. Good job by those two to not end badly, and this could help Little T up in the P3 after all. So as I was saying, yeah, it's just, it's one of those things where, you know, I just enjoy these more. These are more fun. These are real races right here, folks. That just out here have some fun. I always say the people, this is just I just feel like the good people are the ones who are not trying their asses off to get into esports. You know, that's just my opinion. I'm not saying you're a bad person, anyone who watches this, who's trying to get into esports, but some people, some are. You know, I'm not naming names, but there's some out there who just, I don't know, the attitude towards everyone else in the game, I feel like, just hurts it a little bit. That's just my opinion. There's some people out there who get along with you, who are in esports, who get in esports and everything, and are fine. They're very good people to talk with, but there's some that just, I don't know. Tough to say, really. It's really tough to say. But, yeah. And I'm not a real fan of Matt Gallagher, so, yeah. That's no reason why I don't watch esports, F1 esports. But yeah, EA coming up, it will help the games. I was about to say image, but a lot of people don't like EA Sports. A lot of people don't like how EA Sports has handled their sporting games recently, so... so I don't know if... I don't know if people are going to look at it in a bad way because EA Sports it's going to be EA Sports F1 2021. I don't think it's going to be called EA Sports F1 2021. It might maybe 2022 maybe. It might not even be called EA F1 21. I think it probably won't even be called that. Because it's not like EA Sports is completely taken over everything, and EA Sports are like, what, we're going to have our own people and everything. They may, who knows, but we'll find out in the coming months how the new realm of F1 gaming becomes. And welcome to the podcast, by the way, because... Mick has hit the wall. Mika has hit the wall. And, welcome to the F1 podcast here for FormulaOCE, because there's not much else to talk about, because look at these gaps. But to be fair, it's Vietnam, it's wet conditions, you expect margins like this in these conditions. The only chaos we've really seen in this race was lap 1 before turn 1. That's the only chaos we saw in this race. And the gaps have really formed, and Reptiles looked really good up the front, 18.2 seconds. It seems like to me Little T's been really on his decent pace. Look at these times at the moment, 55.55, and Little T has been doing 50. He's done a 53 last lap. But to be fair with Little T, that's a Mercedes, but it's lap 26, so safety car can't come out. But Reptile's probably on lean and none right now, so you can't really compare the lap times here at the moment, when Reptile's probably just in lean and none and bringing it home to the end and not making a mistake. We will have our top 3 drivers in here for podium interviews, so stay with that. Probably not much to say with Reptile. Cruder will have a few feet to say probably, and same with Little T, so just stay with that if they decide to join. And we're getting close to a battle. Edge is 0.5 behind Sydney Swan. It's been like 20 laps since we've seen a battle. No, not really. Oh, Sydney Swan slow. Does he have damage? And oh, this is ugly. He does have damage. Oh dear, side by side through the final corner. Yeah, Sydney Swan's got damage from Wallace coming on the inters. Interesting choice. As Edge is trying to fight his way through here to get into the top 5. Should it be enough? Looking to go round the outside through turns 2, 3, 4. Oh, and Mick now gets a penalty. It's just not enough. Not enough to get this move done. Side, oh no. It's going to be close here, and now Mick is now on the Inters, so is it now gone to Inters tyres could be the quicker way to go, but it doesn't really matter. It's 2 laps to go. Oh, it's the other Ferrari. I was thinking Reptile pitted. We'll stay on board here with Edge. What does Edge do? Does he close enough here on Sydney Swan? He goes for an absolute dive, but it's not going to be enough because Sydney Swan, he couldn't pull it up because Sydney Swan, I think, has damage and there's contact between the two. Oh dear. Crazy battle here for P5, but Edge should get this move done, and now Splash should move his way up to look here on Sydney Swan towards the end of this race. So, it's bedlam, it's craziness here at the moment. And Edge now, P5, and a good result for the Alfa Romeo driver. In the Constructors right now in the Championship, Merc, not one Merc in the points. That's going to help them. Red Bull, only 1 in the points. AlphaTauri, though, 4th. That's going to help AlphaTauri move up in the points and possibly into the lead in the Constructors. So there you go. And the guys who have not raced tonight will still be in the Championship. Fighters now, Stroker race has gone wide, but here comes Splash, look around to the outside of Sydney Swan. He's got to do it the hard way. Oh, just giving him no room for the move at all. Does he go for it here on Splash? Needs to look for this. Reptile's about to come up to the final lap now. As we watch his Splash on Sydney Swan. Oh my goodness me, now that's a move. Oh, there's contact! Oh no! Some heavy duty racing here in this one. Battles galore, bit of biff and barged on the last lap of this Grand Prix. And Reptile's on the final lap now. What does the Renault do? It's not close enough. Not close enough for a move here at the moment to get this job done. Oh my god, no, he has! He's gone for it! Splash gets it done, but he went too deep. He did the exact same thing that Edge did. But Sydney Swan, he's there, mate! He's there! I thought he's going to put him in the wall. And Splash now goes for the dive! Oh no! And Sydney Swan's in the wall. Oh, that's ugly. That is ugly. Oh. That was ugly between those two. And the biff and barge was just... wow. What can you say? We'll leave the stewards to that one. Let's just say that. Let's leave the stewards to decide that one, and the Discord chat will go off. It will go off. As City Swan's in, Reptile on the final lap. It's been a dominant display in these wet conditions, and it's been a hell of a race for him. About to come around the last few corners now, and let's see what Reptile, how much of a margin will win. A big 21 seconds and get him some points, 25 points in the Constructors, in the Championship, and maybe even a fast lap point. I don't remember, but he wins the Vietnamese Grand Prix. Gets it done. Kruder will come home in second. It's a long wait for Kruder to come home in second place. And another good result for Kruder, and he will get another podium. P2 here tonight. Little T now will start around the last few corners now. And Little T, there's some murk off track. And Little T will get up into P3. So Little T moves up into P3 here at the moment. Very good job by him. And I will invite the top three now, so we're not sitting here waiting. As we watch this, oh my goodness me, that AlphaTauri's just gone right into the McLaren. And we've got all our top three drivers in. We'll just wait for a second and just watch the other cars come across the line. Edge P5, Splash will get P6, and Fries as well. And we're going to do a history first here. The drivers are already in, so we're going to do a podium test while the cars still go around on track. Don't forget to include your audio. Third place, McLaren driver, Little T. Talk us through that one. A lot happened in your race.
A lot, actually. Qualified P2, got a 5-place penalty for running into the side of someone, whoever it was. Had to start P7, made my way up to P3 or something like that. And my Xbox disconnected, came back, put back up, and ended up P3, which I'm pretty happy with, to be honest, after all that.
Yeah, it's a very good job, P3, and especially after everything that happened.
Yeah, with dry setup in the wet as well.
Yeah.
Better than I expected, to be honest, so I'm happy.
Yeah, you look like you had good pace, so yeah, well done with P3.
Thank
As Renault driver, Kruder, P2. start of the race, a bit happening, but most of the race was just going on with the wet conditions.
Yeah, I got a rocket start off the 5 lights, and then Elong just cut me and Reptile off completely, just missing the whole chicane, and then it's pretty much just staying with Elong for as long as I could, and then just getting in front of him and just not stuffing up in the wet.
Yeah, that's right, especially at this track. But yeah, P2, well done. As
Yes.
Reptile P1, talk us through it, especially with these wet conditions around Vietnam.
Yes, quite tricky, but it was a pretty good race. Got off the line pretty good, I thought, until got punted almost, which was good fun.
Okay. Well,
But yeah, that's right.
congratulations on the win.
That exciting it was. It was actually quite boring.
Well, yes, if you do watch the stream back, halfway three-quarters way through the stream, I had a podcast. So, yeah, it was great.
Was it a golf thing?
No.
Oh, spewing.
That's a different thing. We don't talk about that here. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank you for the top 3 for joining us. We are back. When's F2? It's like Friday night now. Saturday night, thank you. I don't know the lineup, but anyway, join us then, and don't forget to join us Sunday. Don't forget, yes, it does. Join us Sunday as well, Sunday afternoon as well, for around the Vietnam Grand Prix as well. It should be a full grid, so that will be crazy. Till then, goodbye.